She sold 30 million albums before taking a break from the music industry to spend more time at home. What brought Amy Grant back into the studio? We sat down with the singer-songwriter to talk about the things in life that matter most and how her first album in 10 years came to be.
I can't even believe I still get to do this. I just never dreamed it would last this long.
Singer-songwriter Amy Grant was just a teenager when she made her debut in Christian music. Grant's first album was sold only in Christian bookstores, but it sold over 50,000 copies within just a year. And the queen of Christian pop was throned. While Grant went on to become the first artist to have a Christian music record go platinum, she found even bigger success in the 80s and 90s with crossover hits like Baby Baby and That's What Love Is For.
It's been 10 years since your last new, essentially, recording of new music. Why 10 years?
I had 3 teenagers who are now all in their 20s, and they would have loved me to put out a record and be gone.
Your kids would have loved you to put out a record and be gone? Yes. Get you out of the house?
Teenagers? Oh, yeah.
But after 6 Grammys and 10 top 40 hits, the Nashville native, who's married to country star Vince Gill, put the brakes on her 3-decade-long career.
Greatest feeling in the world is watching the older kids launch. I mean, really finding things that they love doing. I mean, it's like planting trees, and then all of a sudden you go, now when did this thing grow over my head and give me so much shade? This is fantastic. I find it, you know, I get the most excited not about what I'm doing, but by what they're doing.
Don't try so. Grant's new album, How Mercy Looks From Here, is dedicated to her mother.
When it seemed like the songs that went together started coagulating, I was reminded of my mom's request, and so that's why I dedicated the record to her.
Gloria Grant died 2 years ago after a prolonged battle with dementia.
I had gone to see her one night right before I packed a bag and got on the tour bus. And I said, well, I've got to go sing, Mom. And she went, ah, you sing? And I said, I do. I sing. I write songs, too. She asked me questions. What kind of songs did I sing? Would I sing a song for her? And anyway, I was walking out the door, and she called after me, hey, would you do me a favor? And I said, yeah, what? She said, when you walk out on that stage, sing something that matters. What a great thing. You know, you don't even have to be in your right mind to give good advice.
Right.
I hear when you get to the river.
Grant recruited an impressive array of friends and personal heroes to record with her on the album.
You love even with your scars.
I would think it would be pretty intimidating asking James Taylor to sing on your record.
Have to be the right song. I did ask James Taylor back in the late 90s to sing on a song. I had written it. And he said, I would love to. Send me a copy. And I sent it, and he called me back and said, this is not a very good song.
Really?
So I said, you know that song? It's off the record. And I haven't listened to it since, never played it again.
The title song, How Mercy Looks From Here, was inspired by a week's worth of events in the spring of 2010.
I had a cousin killed in Afghanistan. A friend of mine took his life. The Nashville flood hit its peak on Monday, and on Saturday, Jenny, our oldest, was married in our side yard to her love of her life, Josh. I felt like Tarzan swinging on a vine from just the high highs to the low lows.
When you face your greatest fear.
I think I learned how to reframe hard times in the context of what is there to be gained here? Because there's always something to be gained. And I think that voice comes through in the songs.
Just a lovely lady and a lovely record, and all of that, all of those things that have happened to her, you hear in it.
Why do you think she decided to come back after 10 years?
I think, as she said, her kids are grown, and she's got some space again to do stuff, and so many things that happened to her. She just had songs in her, and they've come out.
I love how she said that their kids were now trees that gave her shade. So poetic, even in an interview.
Even in an interview.
You can see why she's a successful singer-songwriter.